me save you from yourself. Do not collaborate, co-sign, or any form of kikiing with the weirdos. You need to understand, right? Astrologically, we're in the collapsing of colonialism. And that means two distinct things. There is a group of us that are going to start creating and really engaging with stuff that obliterates everything that upholds colonialism and its weird ass oppression. But there is another group that are now predestined to suffer the consequences of their fuckeries. Do you know how deep it goes? 2026 is the year of success and stupidity. It's marked by this astrological transit where our ancestors are with us day and night. They're going to quite literally be working through us, inspiring us, leading us to finish their unresolved business. Because let's face it, we're no different from our ancestors and they're no different from theirs. And what they are trying to do, whether they consciously or subconsciously recognize it, is avoid the predestined arse whoopings for all those years they benefited from exploitation, from proximity, like all of it. You know what? Go and grab a cup of chai, get comfortable. Let's have a candid cosmic chit chat as to why you need to make sure you don't co-sign any of these freaks. Let me use colonizer-free astrology to explain why they are trying to get you to co-sign, collaborate, and basically be in proximity with them now. Everything can be explained by Rahu going through the 9 different types of Aquarius. So Rahu's the following, right? Number 1, it's a negative reputation. Number 2, it's deception. Number 3, it's also imprisonment. And I think most importantly, it marks the beginning of turmoil. I'm going to make this really easy to understand. As an empire begins to crumble, everyone who was complicit in upholding empire and benefiting empire will do anything and everything to make sure they cannot be held accountable for their nastiness. And I want you to understand, it's not that they care about you or see the error of their ways. They do not like the fact they are being seen for who they are. They don't like the fact that the old playbook tricks, false promises, performative activism, all that nasty fake allyship, it doesn't impact us. It doesn't work on us. It doesn't influence us. And that is scary to them. Because I say this a lot, colonialism is simply the strongest illusion. It is fuck all. All it's ever been is a financial venture of the elites. It's about stealing wealth, hoarding wealth, policing wealth. So when you co-sign these fuckers, you need to understand, even if you are doing it in good faith, they are not approaching you in the same level of positivity. In fact, let me just take someone super fucking easy so you understand how Rahul is showing you why you don't go near these people. Let's go with Kim Kardashian, right? Let's begin with negative reputation. You think it's a fucking coincidence that that fiendish, devilish, ghoulish family are now doing overtime PR and interviews to normalize themselves, right? To show, they're just human, they love everybody, we're just a family, we have attributes. That's not the case, is it? Because also, think about this. Rahul deals with deception, yeah? And the beginning of turmoil. These are the same people whose products are created in child slave factories. These are the same people who chose to open up businesses in that fake-ass country committing genocide. These are the same people that sell you materials that cause your skin to have egregious fucking reactions. These are the same people who are happily going to dinners, collaborating with people who are destroying this earth, imprisoning immigrants, etc. Do you understand why they would be so thirsty to co-sign with you and be in proximity to you or feel relatable to you? Because what does it stop it doing? Imprisonment. Because if you saw it for what it is, should you not go to prison for contributing to war crimes? Should you not go to prison for unethical business practices? Should you not be fined for all the shit, the way your stuff is created? That's just like a normal fucking figure. This is before I get even remotely political. These public figures, right, from the content creators to the false celebrities to those fucking like weird cosplaying politicians, you name it, however they come, they are going to do anything and everything to make it look like they are aligned to you because they do not want to face the consequences of being complicit in your oppression and the terrorism that you go through on a daily basis. And also remember, it is a choice to align with that. It's a choice to take money from that. It's a choice. And the only person who is stupid enough to allow them to continue is us, because we consume from them. You don't think it's dangerous that you can't fucking block them. You don't think it's dangerous that you know how nasty that family is and how it's been complicit in some of the most scandalous politics, but yet you still think there's no problem watching them, consuming them. What's their outfits, who they're dating? And pay attention to everyone who's ever co-signed them and collaborated them. Where are they now? And also, what does that say of their character? Let's look at the first nakshatra, Bhuva, right? That is Aquarius type 7 to 9. It literally belongs to a deity who's spectacular enough to build the universe, but considers himself deformed, right? It talks about a fiery transformation of beliefs. It deals outright with activism. So let's put this together. They want to co-sign with you, not because they care about your suffering, not because they want to alleviate it or anything like that. It's to exploit you for your emotional, intellectual, physical labor. That treacherous and volatile thing they have about you co-signing them is an act of warfare. Let me explain, right? They will gather you and use your energy, your talents, your skills, your persona, your status, your reputation, and they'll use you like a human shield. Because what they're banking on is you, the victim of oppression, educating them. Don't you think that's a bit weird? Why should you have to relive your trauma? And also, it's a shield away from accountability. I can play dumb. I didn't know. Yes, you did. You knew you gave money to somebody who was going to do fucking the worst form of terrorism we have seen outwardly, right? It was a choice to open up businesses where you know they are genociding and slaughtering people in the most heinous ways. You are being used as a distraction, as a false sign of peace, and this idea of redemption. Do not be a fucking idiot. If you build off that, right, look at what they're doing. They are extracting your talents and skills for their own benefit. That is just a continuation of oppression. Because if they cared that much, would you not return the money? Would you not take that money and give it to so many different resources so they could end that shit? They could have ownership, they could have agency. But that's not the name of the game. You are a good little slave and they love it when you dance for master. You are a good little servant and I love the way you serve us. Wake up, Hibiscuses. That cosign, that collaboration is much more fucking treacherous. Even if we looked at the cosign from a different angle, right? You go, but no, they're allies. They really want to see us do well. They're showing us off. Okay, cool. When you study oppression, many people took their victims and showed them off like fucking circus animals. What are we talking about here? How do you not see that cosign and collaboration is a distraction? Because what it is performative. It doesn't allow for policies to be changed. It doesn't influence the culture enough that collectively people start moving and grooving differently. It is a false gift of peace, and it's to save their own fucking necks. Think about what I shared with you. Bhuva is a story of a deity who builds the world but has low self-esteem and considers himself deformed. Of course, they are going to want you to co-sign, collaborate, and kiki with them, because you keep building the world in a way that it benefits their tyranny. But also deep that you are that powerful, you are that skillful, you are that impactful that anything that's an output from you generates wealth, can contribute to influence. So why don't you weaponize that? Why don't you take that and only collaborate with other people who are really about it? Why don't you save that energy for yourself and build yourself up to have ownership and agency? You need to understand you're being spiritually tested about co-signing because it's marking you up to show, would you betray liberation or will you create it? That's what you need to focus on. Don't let them exhaust you with their destruction. Don't make them guilt trip you into thinking you need to save them. They chose their path. You choose yours. But remember, you're the new ancestor. When you make the moves that you do this year and in the years to come, think about, do I want my child, my community to walk the same path? Or would I like to make it a bit easier and powerful for them? Wake up, Hibiscuses. Actually, follow me for part 2.